Hello again, it's Harry here, your geriatric nurse from Toronto, Canada, back for more information dissemination for the care for the older adults and their caregivers. I'm back again for yet another video. Tonight, I just wanted to briefly discuss about a domain in cognition that we assess for any of the triple Ds and behaviors. So when we're assessing for behaviors, we look at things like hallucinations, delusions, verbal and physical responsive behaviors. Again, you want to be able to early detect what may be going on and early treat it, so that you could reverse what could be reversed and treat any of the D that may be in play in the triple Ds: delirium, depression, and dementia. Hallucination is something that the person may hear or see that we as caregivers could not. Delusion is a false perception. More often than not, people may be paranoid. Sometimes, for example, they may lose something and may end up accusing other people of stealing from them. And unfortunately, sometimes they can also accuse their caregivers, and that can be concerning because it affects the kinship between the caregiver and the older adult. You want to be able to exhaust non-pharmacological interventions when you're seeing these things. Our first go-to is to reorient the patient, and if you find that reorienting them escalates the behaviors further, then you pivot to validating. But along the way, you always try to reassure by your gentle approach. Always maintain your gentle approach. You validate, which means living in the reality, and you have to do it skillfully because you want to be able to reassure them without having to compound the false belief that they may have. So for example, if someone's asking to marry you, you don't say let's go get married, but instead you can acknowledge the feeling. Maybe they're missing their wife, and then try to say, oh, you miss Mrs. Smith. She'll be here a little later. I'm your caregiver, or I'm your nurse, and I'm here to get you ready for the day. Sometimes medications is needed depending on if the confusion is that far advanced and your non-pharmacological interventions are no longer effective. But again, you want that to be your last go-to because they have side effects. And so, having said that, when you use it, you have to optimize giving it, which means go low and slow. The lowest possible effective dose, the least possible amount of medications. Again, because of the side effects. When there is a behavior, there is an unmet need, and I find that if the cognition, the further gone or declined the cognition is, the clearer the possible triggers are. Like for example, for care or personal care, possible common triggers for care is the feeling of wet cloth, or especially cold cloth is a very clear trigger. Also turning, and because of the fear of falling, those are often very clear triggers, especially when their confusion is really very severe. When you notice these signs and symptoms in your loved ones, always reach out to your primary care providers. Make sure you take a note and give an objective description of what really is happening. When did it start? How often is it happening? What are the possible triggers? These are helpful information for the primary care providers to go from in able to order the right test, right medications, and again, right approach before the medications. So that's it for tonight. I thank you so much. Have a good night, and I hope that this video is helpful for you guys. And until next time, take care.